So this is our video for Thursday, April 2nd, pre-cal. Today you're going to take a quiz over partial fraction decomposition. And so just kind of a reminder of our week. On Monday we reviewed adding and subtracting rational expressions. Tuesday we learned the process of partial fraction decomposition, and we only had linear factors. Yesterday on Wednesday we had quadratic factors, but still followed the same process. It was just a little bit more work. And then today we're going to take our quiz. And then tomorrow we will start looking at matrices in chapter 7. So I wanted you to have an opportunity to check your work before going into the quiz. And so if you'll pause the video and you can check your answers on your work from Tuesday. And then you can check your work for your worksheet. So number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. And I'm going to work number 3 for you, just to kind of review you, and want to talk a little bit more about that x squared not really being a quadratic. So this is number 3 from your worksheet. So we have x minus 1 over x cubed plus x squared. So our first step is to factor. So I'm going to take out the x squared, and that leaves x plus 1. And then we've talked about how, yes, x squared is a quadratic, but this is really just an x squared, and the x is linear, so it's kind of like we're splitting hairs. We've also talked about how when you have a factor raised to a power, you have to take into account all the different possibilities that it could be broken apart. And so I'm going to have x and x squared, and then I'm also going to have x plus 1. So the x plus 1 is easy to understand. The x squared is being squared, so we're going to have an x and an x squared. X is linear, so I need an a here. Again, I see x squared and my algebra brain says quadratic, but I've got to think about the factor that is being squared is just an x, and x is linear. And so that's going to be a b, and then x plus 1 is linear, and that's just going to be a c. So we have a, b, and c. They're just all linear factors. So the common denominator is x squared, x plus 1. It's the same denominator that I have right here. And so for the a, for the first denominator, I need to multiply by another x and an x plus 1 to get x squared times x plus 1 in the denominator. In the numerator, when I distribute, I'm going to have ax squared plus ax. My second denominator just needs an x plus 1. So I'm going to multiply up here by x plus 1, and that's going to give me bx plus b. The third denominator needs an x squared. And so I'm going to multiply and get cx squared. Now I have equivalent fractions. I can stop writing the denominator and just set the numerators equal. So I'm going to have x minus 1, and I'm going to rearrange. So I'm going to have ax squared plus cx squared plus ax plus bx plus b. So I can take out the x squared, and that leaves a plus c. I can take out the x, and that leaves a plus b, and then I just have another b. Now, I had a few people ask me about a problem similar to this. We don't have an x squared term on the left. So think of that as 0x squared. And then we have 1x and we have a negative 1. So on the right side, we have a plus c in front of x squared. On the left side, we didn't have an x squared, so that means our coefficient is 0. So a plus c is going to equal 0. The a plus b is in front of x on the right side. So on the left side, we have a 1. So a plus b is equal to 1. And then our constant b is going to be negative 1. So if b is negative 1 and I put it into the second equation, then I can see that a is going to be 2. And if I take 2 and put it into the top equation for a, I get c is equal to negative 2. And then don't forget to write your answer. So I'm going to have 2 over x was the original first fraction, minus 1 over x squared for the second fraction, and then c was negative 2. So I'm going to have negative 2 or minus 2 over x plus 1. So this would be the partial fraction decomposition for x minus 1 over x cubed plus x squared. Don't forget Zoom. I'll be Zooming tomorrow from 10, or on Thursday from 10 to 10:30, and I can answer any questions you have. After our Zoom session, I will open the quiz. Please write clearly and take clear pictures and email them to me. In Schoology, you can just submit a statement saying that you emailed it, and please email nice pictures to make it easier for me to grade.